Am I a bad friend for telling my best friend of 12 years that I'm done covering the costs of his bad decisions? My best friend and I have known each other since sophomore year of college. We're coming up on 12 years of friendship now. For most of that time, he's been one of the closest people in my life. We were each other's best men. I'm the godfather of his daughter. A little context. Over the last decade, he spent most of his time chasing entrepreneurial projects. He's been involved in 3 different startups, 2 failed, and he had to leave one of them. He's had stretches where things were going great and stretches where he was basically floating in uncertainty. His wife works in retail. They have a 4-year-old daughter. The issue is that whenever things go well for him, he acts like it's going to last forever. A nicer apartment than they realistically need. A car payment that doesn't fit the rest of the picture. A very specific kind of lifestyle. And when everything stopped working a couple of years ago, none of that got scaled back. For the last 3 years, he's been asking me for help. The first time, it was a small loan to cover a tax bill. I said yes. The second time, it was help paying for his daughter's first birthday because they wanted to make it special. I said yes. The third time, it was a car repair. I said yes. Every time, he framed it as a one-time thing, and honestly, I treated it that way too. But it kept happening. By the end of the second year, I had quietly started saying no to most of the requests. No speech. No huge conversation. Just, I can't do it this time. He would always understand in the moment, and then a few months later he'd ask me for something else again. Last weekend, a mutual friend had a birthday dinner. After everyone ate, he pulled me aside into the kitchen. We've been planning a group trip for the spring that everyone's been saving up for. He told me his family was really struggling right now and asked if I would cover his share of the trip. He said he couldn't stand the thought of missing it, and that he knew I could afford to spare the money. I told him no. I told him I'd spent years quietly saying yes and quietly saying no, and that at this point I wasn't going to be his safety net anymore. I told him he'd spent 12 years making decisions that didn't match his finances while expecting the people around him to close the gap. I told him those were his choices and his consequences, and that I was stepping away from that role. He left angry. He told me I had changed, that I'd forgotten where I came from, that I had no idea what it really feels like to struggle. I do feel bad. He's been one of my closest friends for over a decade, but the version of him I became friends with stopped being the main version a long time ago, and what's left now is mostly the part that asks,